Welcome to Hanging Out with Robert, that's me. This video contains things that I tinker with throughout the day. For step-by-step detailed instructions of those tasks, you can click on the links in the comment section below. I plan on leaving this video accessible for about 30 days. After that, you can view it through my Patreon account. This video also has tips and tricks that I've learned over the years. So, thank you very much for watching. Kicking off today, had to go pick up a trailer. I need to carry all that HOWR interior stuff back to Albuquerque with me. Man, I'd like to buy one of these trailers. But, like everything else, they charge money. If I had one of these trailers, I'd probably carry parts and tools in it and be able to pick up more parts whenever I go from city to city and have my tools and everything easily available without weighing down the car. And man, just be able to reach out and help a little more. When I got to a city, I'd find a place to dump it and let it sit there until I was ready to move to the next town, then pick it up and take it to the next town. So that's on my wish list, people. 2021. All right, folks. This is how the sensor looks. The reservoir cap plugs in right there.
You can actually route the wire underneath the intake manifold planning.
You can run the wire under the intake manifold if you like.
And this connects to.
And it connects right there to that sensor down there.
And on the other side of the harness.
You got the first wire going into the sensor down there, the end wire going into the wire harness, and that's it.
So now if you set
We're going to simulate coolant being low with the float up. That's as if it's full. If it drops low, that happens. You can hear a noise go away in there. So we're going to turn this upside down, and that simulates
full tank.
A full reservoir. We're going to start the car. Alex is going to come out here, turn it right side up. That will simulate an empty reservoir, and you'll see the message that comes on the screen.
So the hood is open, right?
All right, that car is running, giving us a hood open warning. He's going to go flip the sensor over. It will simulate a empty reservoir, and this is what happens. He just flipped it over. You get that message right there. High engine temp, stop engine. And you get the red triangle. Flip it back over, it goes back to normal operation. Made it back to the T5 restoration, hitting it hard. Man, that's not closing all the way. What the heck's going on with that? Cap's not on all the way. Alright, let's see if that gets it. Nope. Something's going on. May not be the proper cap, or this filler neck is not in all the way. See that cap sticking out just a little bit? Okay, I got it in all the way. I pushed on the cap a little bit. Get that filler neck down. Alright, so we got the car on the ground. I'm ready to torque the wheels. I came up here to the engine and put the fuel rail guard on. Had to take the OTE loose to get that on. I put the ground straps on the engine, even though it's cranking without them, which is fantastic. I'm about to put this boost tube through here so we can read boost. Hook it up to the vacuum tree right there. I got the fuel pump relay out. I got the ignition coil unplugged so I could crank the car and get oil pressure so we don't put any extra wear on that turbo. Timing belt cover off so we can check for leaks once the car starts. And I got the battery disconnected. The battery is weak. I'm looking for a battery hold down clip. And now got the other side of the car down. Putting the center console back in. I had to take that back up when I did the parking brakes. And I'm getting ready to adjust that parking brake handle. That parking brake travel is up pretty high. I don't want to break it. So I'm going to lower that, adjust that T50 in there so that we can have that thing stop about halfway up. Parking brakes seem to be working great. Now I got a replacement climate control unit in there because we had issues with that. And I have the radio out. We had issues with that. I got a replacement radio around here somewhere. So let me go ahead and do what I said, starting off with that handbrake. Got that nice deep pocket for the manual cars. Got that trim in. Now I'm going to put this stuff in up here. Setting up John's computer, Fujitsu, to run the VADCOM and do his data logging. We plugged that thing in. It said it went to serial port 3. So we're going to add settings recommended by the tuner. So we are ready to fly. We got the wheels torqued on. We got the boost line going over to the vacuum tree. We got a jump box to put on there. We got the ignition coil unplugged, the fuel pump relay unplugged so we can crank the car, and everything off the car that we need off of here except this cabin air filter box. We replaced the cabin air filter. So we're going to hook up the jump box, crank this thing until we get the low oil pressure light out, and we're going to hook up the ignition coil and the fuel pump relay and fire this puppy up. We got a voltmeter, almost 12 volts. We got boost gauge, and we're going to crank it until our low oil pressure light goes out. Oh man, my jump box is low.
I got a jump box.
All right, so crank it for 10-15 seconds, let it rest 10-15 seconds. All right, about to hit it again. All right, we still got low oil pressure light. We got to keep cranking it till that light goes out before we start the car, or you could starve the turbo. Round 3. Still got low oil pressure. Round 4. Dang, still got low oil pressure. Let's go, round 5. Now I better go make sure that sensor's plugged in. We were about a quart low. Wow, never had one crank this long, low oil pressure. Looked like my sensor wire was plugged in. Let me go unplug that, plug that back in. Finally got the low oil pressure light out, and somebody decided they wanted to call me. There it goes, it's out. Alright, we're going to see if this box has enough oomph to still start the car. And it started. Sounds halfway decent. Fired right up, warming up. We got an SRS light, ABS and tracks, and a parking brake. Heater's rolling. About to take it for a little joyride. See how it rides. Let me see if I got the code for this. Woohoo!
Oh, yeah. 6626?
Yeah. So I could give you that card or write that down or something. We didn't get very far. The car's acting like it's trying to overheat. And it doesn't seem like we have any coolant in this upper radiator hose. So we're going to let the engine cool down. We're going to pop this thermostat out. Well, the car was sitting here idle. We was messing around with the computer for a half hour. And the fan wouldn't cut off. So the engine was getting a little warm. I didn't get enough coolant in the system. So I was a little bit concerned about that. We only got 1.2 gallons. I normally could get 1.6 gallons. So we took off down the road. Even after we had the car idling for nearly a half hour, the coolant level never went down. So we took off down the road, got about 3 blocks away. The temperature gauge on the engine started rising. So I was watching the data information. It said the coolant was, engine temp was 122. So we shut it down. Come out here, felt this hose. It don't feel like nothing's in this hose. I'm thinking that thermostat is somehow damaged. So I'm draining that off right now. Got the bottle just about empty so I could pull this thermostat and see what's going on there. Tried to scan the climate control and delete the error codes in that, and we still got 2 codes. So we gotta fix those before this climate control is gonna work properly. It doesn't appear that we have any type of leaks in the timing belt area, so I'm gonna put that timing belt cover on. When John gets back with the thermostat, we're gonna put the new thermostat in, making sure it's not too large, and take this thing for another ride. Pulled the thermostat out. It seemed like it was jammed. I was trying to function it with my hand, and it was just binding up. So I don't think that thermostat was opening up properly. Then I gave it a little pull on the end and something went flying across the car, a spring or something out of it. So anyway, John went to AutoZone to get one. I told him to be careful not to get one that's too long, too high. We don't want to get one that's not going to fit. If they don't have one that'll fit properly, we're just going to put a open stat in there, and I'll get a thermostat first thing in the morning. We are rolling again. I'm going to watch the temperature on the dash. 59, 60 degrees Celsius. We're going to go for a ride around town. For real this time. Got a new thermostat. Going from 3rd to 4th. We got a little zip. I don't know if that's something with the synchro's going bad in this transmission. It goes from 1st to 2nd fine, goes from 2nd to 3rd fine, and when you go down the 4th, it takes a little extra second to get into 4th and it zips. So I think we're going to be replacing this transmission. So we got a probable bad transmission. That's going to be that. I'm going to have to come back in a month or 2 and replace this transmission. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.